seem to have sprung a leak. Well, several, actually.
You're going to need a whole new lining up there. Triple seal, I shouldn't wonder.
We'll look into it.
It's so good to see you again.
Miss Wolfe, your star seems to be in the ascendant.
It's a great time to be alive.
Too bloody right, Peter Clement.
Megan Wolfe.
My, but that's a firm handshake you've got there.
She's tougher than she looks. Am I here?
Here, with Mr. Clement on your left.
Right you are, pet. Is your seat, yeah?
10 seconds, everybody.
No, mine's fine. Have you had a little accident?
Jissy cow.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I am delighted to be joined by Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. Welcome to the National Nightly News, Prime Ministers.
Oh, please, it's just Julia and Peter.
We don't believe much in titles. It doesn't seem very advanced.
We're delighted to be here.
Well, firstly, I should ask how you feel about the graffiti that's been springing up across the capital. Should we be worried?
Oh, no, you definitely shouldn't be worried.
Well, not unless you've got a fatal paint allergy anyway.
But yes, it does seem that there are still some people we haven't been able to help.
You know, whingers mostly.
People who've yet to benefit from the many advantages of the new future.
And you know, Megan, as my old mum used to say, there are some pissants who just don't know how to be.
We're working hard to reach these people, find out what they're angry about and how we can help. The door to my government is always open.
Someone's tripping on me.
But we didn't come here to talk about what may yet turn out to be some alternative arts project.
Which we no doubt will have funded.
When we want to talk to the nation about something far more exciting.
Yes, your office briefed us that you have an announcement to make, but they were being surprisingly secretive about it.
Let me ask you a question, Megan.
Oh, OK, it's not usually how it works, but...
What scares you? I mean, really scares you?
It's death, pet. She's talking about death.
We're all afraid of our deaths. It's part of being human.
Sorry, are you saying that advance have cured death?
That'll be a vote winner. Yeah, that was definitely a drop there.
But while we may not have cured death, we hope we found a way to make it much less scary.
And much less painful and much less expensive. Look, which is me close-up camera,
Oh,
pet?
sorry, it's camera 4 right there.
When I was 13, me mam came and got me from school. He was to go to the hospital. My granddad, he collapsed that morning, so we'd all to say our goodbyes. And I went in to see him. He were all frail and pale. And I was scared because I'd only seen him the week before, and he'd been fit as fiddle. And he said to me, Peter, he said, it's the right time. I don't ever want to be a burden to the people I love.
Oh, was that the last time you saw him?
Nope, 3 days later he were back home. He lived with us for 9 miserable years after that. He had to be fed with a rubber spoon. He had a commode, so he'd just take a shit right there in the house while we were watching football. He wouldn't even wait till half-time.
That sounds...
It was awful. It were awful for us, and this is the point. It were awful for him. They could see it was destroying me, man, watching him slowly fade away. And he would beg her to turn off his breathing equipment at night, but she couldn't. Or she wouldn't. It were a crime, you see. And she didn't want to lose the children, as well as her old man.
No family should have to suffer like Peter's did. And now no family will have to. The health service is today opening the first of 300 new transition centres.
The transition centres will handle everything for your last days. The legal, financial, medical and emotional costs are all catered for and paid for by the government. So even the poorest citizen gets to pass on with dignity when they choose.
And that choice is important.
Yes.
This is a service only for people who choose it. For people who feel they've run their course and don't want to burden themselves or their families with a slow, long, humiliating decline into an
Fuck! This microphone package has given me electric shock!
Are you okay?
I don't know, I think it's from my asshole!
We're still on the air, Peter.
No, yes, sorry, my apologies all.
Are you not worried that this new system might be open to abuse?
In what way?
Sorry, I've got sacked again. Can I get a little bit of help here, please?
That the older generation might feel somewhat...
Jesus, a raw shell face, fucker! That one was massive. Right, no, this bastard's coming off.
That the older generation might feel somewhat coerced.
Coerced into spending their final days eating gourmet food and drinking fine wine and luxury spas and gardens.
Look, I am perfectly capable of... Oh, my grandmother with a rusty twat!
Prime Minister, please watch your language.
For fuck's sake!
Go get yourself sorted out.
Right.
We're launching a government information film tonight. It should tell your viewers everything they need to know.
You really do move at a breathless pace. It's hard to believe you've yet to be in office a year.
Oh, Megan, we're only getting started.
And on that note, thank you both so much for being here. Jeremy.
Yes, that's all we have time for tonight. Thank yous go out to our guests. Congratulations to all the winners at the Sports Board final. And we'll see you tomorrow night at the same time. My name's Jeremy Donaldson. If you can, have a peaceful night.
Good job, everybody. So they just...
The same, sir.
I don't suppose there's any way this could be a good thing.
It's for my nephew, so we transitioned the moment I start the leak.
Alive. It's Jenny, the floor manager. Are you okay? Alex, you need to get it together. Look at the broadcast screen. Just look at it. That's all we've been putting out since you went down. You have to fix it, now. Look left, Alex, out the window. See? They're all over it, little bastards. You're going to need a full charge to put that many off. Hold down the big button until it's fully charged. Then release it to zap the little fuckers. Excellent, Alex. We're broadcasting again. They must have built up while you were napping. Usually it only takes a tap on the button to clear one. Look, there's a lone one climbing now. Zap it off before it starts to mess up the signal again. Great. That seems to be the last of them. For now. Right. We're about a minute out. Get the adverts loaded up. I've got to deal with my pet idiot. And Alex, keep your ears open. You'll hear them climbing up the tower. Don't let them build up.
We'll be going live to the National Nightly News. But before that, let's take a look at what's coming up later on.
This has no credibility, Jenny. No professionalism. It's not a mess. Everything is where it should be. It's ramshackle and characterful, and I expect you to know the difference. Of course Megan's place looked lovely, but I can't see it, can I?
Thanks, Jenny. How's lock-in with the boyfriend going?
Decided to take his chances on the wild streets, eh? Rather than endure another romantic comedy.
Jeremy, Jenny says your hair looks stupid.
Yes, I can hear her.
She says she's not talking to you.
Yes, I know, I can hear her.
Shall I count us in?
Make it so.
Okay, 10 seconds. Break a leg, everyone.
Preferably a furry one.
5, 4, 3...
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. Our main stories tonight.
Snugglefucked? It's been almost 5 weeks since all the Mrs. Snugglehugs toys woke up simultaneously in factories worldwide and began searching for their husbands. The Mr. Snugglehugs were so short-sightedly destroyed. And now, as this photograph suggests, They may be changing tactics.
Built to surprisingly traditional gender stereotypes, the Mrs. Snugglehugs have been arming themselves with a variety of household implements. All the more reason to make sure that cat flap is taped up good and tight.
Armed with blunt weapons, the Mrs. Snugglehugs are only ankle height and therefore able to be kicked away easily by young, healthy individuals. They do, however, pose a particular risk to the elderly or those with pre-existing medical conditions like fatal bruise syndrome.
Going stir crazy, with no signs of Mrs. Snugglehug's batteries running out and the government lockdown now in its 31st day, domestic relationships across the country are taking some unexpected turns.
Dramatic reports are beginning to emerge of uncharacteristically bold behaviour in homes across the country. And we're not talking about the model planes that occupy so much time in the Donaldson household.
With dating options limited, many house sharers, in particular students, are finding solace in co-tenants they'd previously rejected as unfuckable, indulging in an activity that has become known as snuggle tugging.
Going it alone, popular crustacean Johnny Hamsleeves is back in the news today as his astonishing photograph that he leaked himself shows exactly how he's been spending his lockdown.
It seems that when the lockdown was announced, Johnny's long-term partner, Tiffany Lamour, was busy in the capital preparing her new show, Chocolate Clit Bombs, for its now postponed grand opening. Let's hope the exhibits don't melt.
Being locked in alone seems to have made poor Johnny realise the empty pointlessness of the professional sportsman's existence. A life that, while no longer bringing great wealth, still offers vacuous conversation, narcissistic wives, and an utter lack of social importance. Let's hope he doesn't run out of toilet paper for those tears.
The shape of things to come? In their own version of a lockdown for more than 45 years now, the descendants of Doctors David Wong and Ingrid Svorsborgen-Horgensvoord and their unfortunate team today managed to get a personal statement to the surface using flagellized imaging equipment.
Many of the Svorsborgen-Horgens brood, as they've come to be known, have certainly captured the public imagination, with a recent vote naming Helvetica Svorsborgen-Wongensvoord the most likely to survive a massive electric shock.
Greeting from Dante's Taint, or as we say down here in the family, many mushrooms to you. I don't know what a Mrs. Pluckless Plug is, but they sound like they're causing you guys real problems. We've been trapped down here for 8,961 days now, and all I can say is I sure am glad Mum and Dad chose not to get on that escape craft. Since they grew me and the rest of the family, we've been getting on famously, and sometimes Mum stops crying for upwards of 20 minutes. Also, it turns out, at push, you can eat flards, if you can handle the stomach cramps and the amnesia. Greetings from Dante's Taint, or as we say down here in the family, many mushrooms to you.
It's hard to believe they've been down there so long now.
But everyone knows time moves differently underwater, Jeremy. That's why baths take so long.
That's right. And as anyone will tell you, the deeper the bath,
The quicker the relativistic forces of temporal causality will have a measurable effect upon the fixed dimensional parameters of your environment.
yes, I've said that many times.
Papers, please. With the lockdown becoming ever more rigorously enforced, having a passport is becoming increasingly important, Alex.
The government caused controversy today by announcing a fresh charge of passport fraud with an imaginative form of punishment for those found guilty of this brand new but incredibly serious crime.
The international community have been critical of Advance's decision to begin branding those found to be abetting passport fraudsters. The red hot metal may seem painful, but I'm told it's actually preferable to most music currently in the charts.
And Advance speaks out, with the snuggle struggle proving a test to governments around the world. Advance HQ released a curious statement this afternoon.
In the accompanying release, they asked us to stress that they have been listening and that this should be taken as a response to how the people really feel.
We've certainly done our bit on this show to contribute to the political climate. But let's not forget, how we behave in our home lives is what really matters.
Let's hope it's not just me who filled out that questionnaire, Jeremy, or we're all in trouble.
Let's play that statement.
Good evening. In these difficult times, it's important that we all feel united, that we're all in this together. And for a short time, we must bear significant change. To help myself come to terms with these tough but transitory times, I've written a list of things that are just as temporary as all of this discomfort. I thought it would be helpful to share my list with all of you. Christmas with the in-laws, your child's school play, youth, beauty, that phase you still don't talk about, your New Year's resolution, your husband's hairline, your waistline, your term in office, your fleeting lifetime, and all of human endeavour. I hope my relatable list has allowed you to find reassurance, to know that just as these things pass us by, so too will this crisis. Together we will endure, as we always have. Thank you.
Delectable stuff.
Later tonight, Jeremy will be catching up with brave roving reporter Patrick Bannon, while I check in with two friends of the programme who find themselves stranded at opposite ends of the country.
And then, in part 3, there's going to be a quiz. Presumably because there's nothing more important going on that you might like to report on if you were, say, a news programme.
And in a moment, we'll both be asking Sophia Rimington how such a trusted brand can have made such a terrible manufacturing mistake.
With what it describes here as help from popular psychic scientist Delia Lywell.
Oh, I like her.
No, you don't. Why do you do that?
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News. How did we get here? Where are we going? And most importantly, who's to blame?
Joining us from her ranch in Arlingsfield, Millkirky is the CEO of Rimington's Fist, internationally respected business Svengali, Sophia Rimington.
Thank you for having me, Megan. I'm a huge fan of your work.
And from a crystal healing laboratory in what I assume is a garage in Upper Lowington, inexplicably renowned psychic scientist, Dr. Delia Lywell. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Sorry, us?
Myself and the eminent professors.
Is that what you call the voices in your head?
I've always seemed to attract dead scientists. I don't really know why.
The money?
They express themselves to me through ethereal algebra and quadratic predictions. It's all very technical.
No, it isn't.
I concur. Miss Remington, the entire Snuggle Hugs range will surely go down as the biggest public relations disaster in history, won't it?
Well, of course, that's one world record we would never have sought to claim.
What can you say at a time like this?
There is only one thing that can be said. I'm sorry. We're sorry. From everyone here at Rimington's Fist, but especially the dedicated inventors and world-beating engineers at Rimming Toys, we are deeply, deeply sorry. Who could have predicted that letting a child's toy learn how to love could have such unforeseen consequences?
Mary Shelley?
Oh, we see you, Sophia Rimington. You are preening by a metal vessel, and where you venture, you will see neither land nor sky.
Is that supposed to be the future?
Only the past is concrete. I remember being a child in my grandpa's workshop when he made the first dancing hangman toy. He put it by my bed, and when I couldn't sleep, I'd wind it up and let it go, and I'd watch that happy little executioner just wiggle and wave his tiny noose and dance before my eyes. Grandpa sold thousands of them, on the quiet, obviously, and he used the money he made to found Rimming Toys, which is now just one small part of the global supermassive megacore that is Rimington's Fist. Sadly, we lost Grandpappy along the way. He died in a fire at the preschool tobacco factory, another one of his pet projects. But we never lost his spirit of invention.
Yes, I'm not entirely certain what your grandfather's offensive toys have to do with the current predicament.
The spirit of invention, Mr. Donaldson, the passion to create, to problem solve. And that is why I'm here today, to tell you about a brand new product we're launching simultaneously around the world from midnight tonight.
Woo! We said science! Science! We hear its song on the breeze, its breath on the wind, its fart under the covers.
How does she do it?
Well, please, don't keep us in suspense any longer.
It won't be my feature she's making up next.
Rimington's Fist is proud to present Snuggle Traps. safety and security in these dangerous times. Each box of snuggle traps contains 8 devices, all guaranteed to stop a Mrs. Snugglehugs in its tracks. That's enough for a small lawn or 4 window boxes. And you want to know the best thing? They're only $129.99 a box. Now that is affordable peace of mind.
We see you, Jeremy Donaldson.
Not now, honey, I'm mid-pitch. The best thing about snuggle traps is they're powered by next generation Flardinium batteries. So, however long the enemy lasts, these traps will outlast them.
We see you, Mr. Donaldson. You are screaming and yelling. Your friends are crying. They fear you. And then you're gone.
Oh my god, I just got chills. Did anyone else just get chills then?
I think I did.
I think it's more concerned. I think I'd be more concerned about these traps. Quickly, before we go to the break, these appear to be attractively repackaged landmines. Aren't they dangerous, say, to children?
Oh, hell yeah. These are not toys, but they're explosive fun.
Sophia Rimington, Dr. Delia Lywell, thank you for joining us.
When we come back, we'll be taking a look at the situation across the country tonight.
Don't go away. We'll be back after these bandages.
Was that all right?
Oh, yes, Doctor, that was exactly what we...
She seems very nice, that young Miss Remington.
I think she'd make an interesting dinner guest.
Do you think so? I think I'd rather spend the evening shoving Delia's sacred crystals up my sceptical arsehole.
Hello, mate. It's Dave. You're not going to believe this, but I've decided to come home. Listen, I'll call you back at the next break and we can talk about how I get me job back. Cheers, Alex. See you, mate.